What is going on, Jerome's? It's time for Week 7 NFL picks. Now, it just dawned on me that we've missed like a month of these. I think the last one we did was Week 3, but, life gets in the way. Also, we didn't even do it in time to do Thursday Night Football, but that's okay. I would take the Cardinals -4. I think it was. Actually, I did take the Cardinals -4. Whatever. Anyways, so we got a handful of teams on bye. So it's a bad beat. You got the Bills, Eagles, Vikings, and Rams on bye. That's a really bad beat for fantasy football, but is what it is. So I'm going to go through the games and who wins. Falcons versus Bengals. You have Cincinnati -5.5. Now, the Falcons are 3-3. And look to actually have some life in the NFC South. Bengals got right last week down in New Orleans, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase look like they're on the right page. I have Cincy -6.5. I think they do win by a touchdown, but I do think that the Falcons are going to be a little bit pluckier than people expect here. But I don't know. Like this one is so razor thin. This is the one that I would actually not put a jelly bean or two down on because it's really close. I think the Bengals do have a tendency to sort of play down to competition. I think the Falcons are on the come up, even without Cordero Patterson right now. I would like to see them get Drake London and Kyle Pitts more and more involved in that passing game. And Mariota, he looks fine. He looks fine right now. But I do think that the Bengals win by a touchdown. So getting that hook on the other side is important. Next up, noon, Lions versus Cowboys. Lions off the bye. Cowboys got humbled Sunday Night Football against the Eagles, but I do think that the Cowboys come out. I think that this is going to be like a 26-14 type game, 26-13, somewhere in there. So I think there's some value there. This one I would put a jelly bean down on. Dak is going to be back. I think that the Cowboys are going to take care of business against the Lions, where, I don't know, like the Lions, they have the talent and they play hard for Dan Campbell, except they just haven't gotten it together. And they have a tendency to get their doors blown off, and I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. But, I mean, I like the Lions, but this ain't the week. I think Dallas wins and they cover. Next up, Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee favored by 2.5. Give me the points. I always like taking points in division games like this. And the Titans, they are off the bye. King Henry getting after it again, but that receiving core has been decimated. I don't trust Tannehill. And the Colts are trying to piece things together, and they got to win versus the Jaguars, who look like an upstart. And Frank Reich is coaching for his job. I think Matt Ryan certainly isn't the Matt Ryan of old, but can they get Pittman going? Can Jonathan Taylor Thomas actually play this week? We'll see. But in division, give me the points. Next up. The Packers, who in back-to-back weeks have lost to the Giants and they've lost to the Jets at home, but somehow they're still favored over the Commies. But it's the Taylor Heineke era. Carson Wentz got banged up, so it's a little bit of addition by subtraction. I actually think that Washington and Brian Robinson, who is the new stud running back in town, I think that they are going to get things going. I think Scary Terry is actually going to get the ball, and I think Curtis Samuel, maybe. But yeah, I think Ron Rivera and company, they give themselves a win outright. So I'm calling for a 17-14 or 17-13 type win for the Commies. So I'm taking the points. I'm taking the money line, man. Next up, you got the Bucs. Tom Brady yelling at his offensive line. We've seen that before. But I think that they do bounce back. It's a good time to get right against Carolina, who traded away Robbie Anderson. They traded away McCaffrey. They're in full-on tank mode. They want that number 1 overall pick. I think the Bucs go into Carolina. They take care of business. I think it's going to be like a 24-6 type game. There you go. Second to last noon game. You got the Giants facing the Jaguars, which kind of a surprisingly good game. Jaguars favored in this one, but I'm going to take the G-Men and the points. Now, they may not win outright, but I think this is going to be a very close game. I mean, Brian Daboll and company, maybe it's a little bit of smoke and mirrors, but also I don't think it is. I mean, Daniel Jones is playing decent. They're getting some okay production from the wide receiver position from a bunch of guys that you would not expect. Offensive line is getting there. Defensive line, certainly get after. Love me some Cavion Thibodeau. Andre Patterson and company is doing some good work there. So I think that they go on the road. I think they keep it close. Maybe I'm not ready to say they win outright, but Jaguars and Doug Peterson, maybe they take care of things in Duval. They certainly didn't 2 weeks ago. So it is what it is. Last of the noon games. All right, so, can't really say it's last because they all start at the same time. But time is a social construct. So you got Cleveland plus 6.5 going on the road with Baltimore. Like I said, I always like points in division games. And even though the Browns they got stung last week by the Patriots and the Ravens gave it away now against the Giants on the road, I think that this is gonna be a close game. I do think that the Ravens win outright, but I could see it being like a 24-20 type game. So give me that 6.5. Jets at Broncos. I love it, man. I love the Rob Saleh running down the wing, getting this team together. Breece Hall is an absolute stud, and even though that Elijah Moore wanted to trade, and I like that they're just like no. In fact, we're just gonna bench you. All right, so Garrett Wilson is a stud. Hopefully, Zach Wilson has himself a big time game as well in the Broncos. I don't trust the Broncos. Like the Russell literally stole $250 million from the Walmart family. I don't know what's going on. I feel bad for Nathaniel Hackett. Actually, I don't. Screw him. I feel bad for our guy, George Payton. But I think the Jets win outright here. Well, obviously, yeah. So I think the Jets actually win, I don't know, like say 28-16. Somewhere in there. Texans at Raiders. The Raiders are favored by 7. Both teams coming off the bye. Give me Houston and the points, because even though the Raiders are trying to get their ish together with Devontae and Derek Carr, I do like the Texans. I do like Dameon Pierce as the young stud running back coming up. So I think that they do enough to at least keep it close. And if the Raiders do win, it won't be by a touchdown plus. So give me all that points. Then you got Seahawks at the Chargers. Chargers are favored by 5. Give me Seattle plus 5. I mean, Geno Smith, baby. I don't think that he's a good quarterback, but I love the storylines. Kenneth Walker is going to be a force on the ground as well as through the air. I think they just didn't utilize him the best at Michigan State. Yeah, they sorely miss him, by the way. Ay Dios mío. But, I mean, the Chargers... is J.C. Jackson one of the worst free agent signings in recent history? I mean, that's rough. It's really rough, man. But I think DK and Lockett get loose. And I actually think that the Seahawks and the 12s, I think they're going to travel well down to L.A. I mean, give me... Ooh, what happened? Give me the Seahawks plus 5. Give me the money line as well. Let's go. Plus, also, I always like when teams don't have to travel outside their time zone. Even though Seattle to LA is a pretty decent flight, the body clocks don't have change. Chiefs versus Niners. So this is, of course, going to be the big one. Christian McCaffrey, is he going to play? I think he's going to play like certain packages with the Niners. But, I mean, even before Christian McCaffrey, I was tempted to take the Chiefs plus 2. I think this is going to be a bit of a dogfight, slog it out type game. I don't think... I'm not sure if the Niners win outright. But is this like one of those last second, Mahomes drives where he doesn't actually throw an interception this time and it's a 28-27 type win? It's possible. But, give me the home crowd. Give me the 2 points. Steelers Dolphins Sunday Night Football. Tua is reportedly going to be back in this one. And the Steelers, I think, sort of shot their wad against the Patriots. Kenny Pickett will be back. He's working back through concussion protocol. And, down in Miami, I think it's about time that the Dolphins get right. Plus, it's like the 50th anniversary of the 72 Dolphins, so that's whatever. I think they're honoring them on Sunday Night Football. So I think they'll be inspired. I think they'll win by, 9, somewhere in there. And then lastly, Monday Night Football. This is going to be a bloodbath. This is going to be a reverse of the 85 Super Bowl where all week they're going to talk about, whoa, back in 85, and then the Fridge did this, and Walter Payton didn't score a touchdown, and the Patriots, and blah, blah, blah. But I think Belichick's got this team playing well. After a 1-3 start, they're 3-3. They have a quasi-quarterback controversy with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, even though reportedly it's going to be Mac Jones. But the Patriots, minus 7.5, even with the hook, I think the Bears are just so inept. And on the road, Belichick is going to make you play left-handed. I think he'll get after Justin Fields' ass very easily. So I think this is going to be a 26-3 type game. Maybe they get a late garbage touchdown, so like 26-10. That's whatever. But that is it. That's Week 7 NFL picks. Sure to go wrong. Again, this is not advice or expertise. Gambling has inherent risks or something like that. I don't know. You know what I mean? Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.